Yo, what's Gucci and the Coochie? According to my analytics, a good portion of you young cats weren't around for the greatness that was Spider-Man back in 2002. There wasn't anything more magical than seeing Tobey Maguire just swing around New York like a badass. It was one of the greatest experiences in my 5 years of life. Nothing comes close. However, as children, we tend to not realize when there's something awry among us, and I'm referring to this harpy, this succubus, Mary Jane. A good majority of these unfortunate events in the trilogy occurred purely because Mary Jane Watson chose to breathe and consume oxygen without my permission. In this video, I'm about to expose this selfish, vampiric seductress of a woman for the incessant 304 behavior and show y'all why simping is a cardinal sin that will ruin your life. So starting in Spider-Man 1, we got our boy Peter narrating, right? And before I even get properly introed into this universe, bro's already talking about how much he loves this girl before he even knew what girls were. A few minutes in and we're already simping on full display. We see her hugged up with her current boyfriend Flash and she looks completely disinterested. So this gives us a little bit of an insight into how she treats her partners. Like, why are you even with this guy in the first place? MJ already starts accumulating L's because she's dating a known bully in the school who is constantly picking on Peter for absolutely zero reason. Now, she's not dating Peter, I understand, but she is watching this behavior unfold and doesn't say shit about it. Girl, you've known Peter for years because y'all live next door. Say something. At the spider exhibit, Harry, Pete's best friend, starts pulling up on MJ and starts making moves and she's entertaining it. So two birds with one stone, we see that Harry's a shitty friend and MJ is a hoe. After Peter gets his powers, he accidentally trick shots on Flash. Bro completely deserves it, but he is not having it. So he pulls up for the squab and MJ does fuck all to try to get him to stop. Again, showing that she does not give a fuck about Peter. When Flash is swinging on him, Peter's dodging obviously, and he decides to block and then swing back, defending himself against an assailant. And this heifer has the gall to look at him like he did something wrong. She ain't had no problem a few seconds ago watching Flash swing on Peter, but when he's not having it, he's in the wrong? Yeah, okay. Skipping forward, Peter and MJ are having a conversation in their backyards about where they're gonna go after school is over, and MJ's talking about that she wants to be an actress. Nah, baby girl, keep your day job, because that ain't for you. Peter's gassing her up, obviously, because you know that's what Sims do, and you can tell she's just loving all the free attention. The convo continues, and keep in mind she's still with Flash in this moment, but she's talking and flirting with Peter while she's in a damn relationship. See, some people are gonna be like, oh nah, that's not flirting, but if you don't think that the soft voice, the consistent eye contact, and the slight head tilt ain't flirting, then you ain't never spoken with a human female in your life. Then the D-bag that we're talking about pulls up in his car and she instantly changes her tune like, well, fuck this nerd, I'm getting in the car. We went from having a heartfelt conversation to ooh money, displaying her gold digger tendencies. Now unfortunately, after some time, Peter's uncle gets trick-shotted and Peter then finds the person who he believes is the one who did it. So after he indirectly kills the person, we then see MJ angrily walking off from her job. So this woman does this quite a lot. She just angrily walks away from situations that she does not feel comfortable with instead of actually, addressing the issue. Now this is our first interaction with this girl after Uncle Ben gets capped, and not once does she even think to check in on homie. She has lived next to Uncle Ben her entire life and doesn't want to ask, hey Peter, are you okay? But she would rather complain about the fact that she's working a job instead of acting in Broadway. Yeah, no, she's too pretty to trade hours for dollars like the rest of us peons. She goes, we should catch up sometime. Yeah, let's talk about how my uncle got FaZe Clan, but nah, you don't give a fuck about that now, do you? Bitch! So next, MJ is at some party or whatever with Harry. So she started dating Pete's best friend, basically rubbing in his face because she's a bitch. And then the Green Goblin attacks the castle with intentions to just fuck shit up for the LOLs. MJ begins to demonstrate her constant need to be saved. Shit starts to explode, and I'm thinking, man, fuck MJ, save Stan Lee instead. That's more important. So obviously Peter's not about to let this slide, so he changes into a Spider-Man outfit. He saves MJ, and he swings away, bringing her to safety. Now remember when I said that she just got a new boyfriend like 3 days ago? Yeah, nah, she's changing now. Now fuck that guy, I love this person instead. She's smitten instantly. And then on the next scene, she's on the phone with Harry talking about he was so incredible. That is wild work. You're telling your man about how much cooler another man is? That's insane. Then he's talking about don't let the bed bugs bite, and she hangs up preemptively. Strong communication skills, check. MJ comes out of an audition and Peter's stalking her, and she's talking about how much she was told that she wasn't the bee's knees, and then Pete offers dinner to try to help her feel better, and then she's like, nah, I'm going out with Harry, you should come with us. Bro, insane. She's just trying to stir up drama. But then she's like, I better run, Tiger, and then she's, flirting again. Like, there are absolutely zero boundaries with this girl. A few seconds later, she gets jumped in an alleyway, and then, Spider-Man comes to save her, and then she plants a big old smooch on this guy, even though it was her second time meeting him. Insanity. So cheating on Harry, another check. At this point, MJ is just fucking up everybody's feelings, but, there are some people on the planet who aren't simps and they're not having it. We then see Harry Harry preparing a meal for his father so he can meet MJ. But then the Green Goblin comes up and he starts gobbling up all the bullshit that he can smell from this girl, and he calls her out. He's talking about there ain't no way a woman like her wants you for her personality, and he is saying it loud enough to make sure that bitch hears it. Norman plants that old school Snoop Dogg wisdom on Harry, talking about we don't love these hoes, I'm out the dough, and now I'll be sipping on gin and juice, laid back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Now MJ ain't happy, but you know what, fuck her feelings. Harry and MJ break up and it's done, it's kibosh, it's over. Or is it? The Green Goblin's on his demon time, he pulls up on Aunt May and she almost gets cooked, but you know, nah, she's okay. MJ pulls up to the hospital to bring her flowers, but where were Uncle Ben's flowers? Oh no, I can't with this hoe. She talks about how Harry called her, but she did not return his calls. Okay, silent treatment, check. But then she says she's not responding to Harry because she's in love with someone else. Emotional affairs, check. She starts talking about Spider-Man and how cool he is and yada yada yada. She knows that Peter is taking pictures of Spider-Man, so you know they must be in contact. And she asks Peter if Spider-Man said anything about her. In response, Peter just dumps this entire poetic cringe Reddit post about her eyes or some shit, and Mary is smitten again. It is not that hard to grab this girl's attention. Even though she was just talking about that she loves someone else, she grabs Peter's hand and she's like, you know what, never mind, I love you instead. Harry walks in and he sees the bullshit and realizes that Papa was right, you cannot trust these hoes. As more time passes, later on the Green Goblin goes, it's goblin time, and he starts gobbling all over New York. He forces Peter to choose between MJ and a bus of kids, which is pretty fucked up. Obviously, Peter's gonna try to go after the girl who never let him hit yet over the kids who did absolutely zero wrong. She instructs MJ to climb down the rope, and I can't lie, this girl's grip strength is absolutely wild. Any other person would have been knocked off easily. Green Goblin tries to knock her off into the water. She falls and she grabs onto the bus as she's falling. Grip strength goes absolutely crazy. Now I see why he doesn't want to let her go, because he's not trying to lose that Mega Grip 3000 technique. You know, we got some basic superhero shit, so after Goblin gets gobbled, we're at Norman's funeral, and she finally tries to console Peter about Uncle Ben, while simultaneously ignoring her ex while at his dead father's funeral. This girl has zero emotional intelligence, does not know who to give her empathy to, she's just throwing that shit all over the place. So while she's talking to Peter, she feels this celestial pull to make this all about her, and the entire time, she didn't love Flash, or Harry, or Spider-Man, or Mark, or Jesse, or Franklin, or the football team, or Johnny Sins. Nah, she loved Peter this entire time. She kisses Peter, just collecting bodies in the span of 2 hours, and then after they kiss, Peter drops his bomb and he goes,
I will always be your friend.
Get fucked! Peter walks off, and I wish that he could say that he has broken the spell of the seductress, but nah, that can only be further from the truth. This concludes the first movie, and buckle up people, I hope you're still with me because this is only a third of the way there. Spider-Man 2 is when the fuckery is on full display. So we're gonna start round 2 at around the time that Birthday has his Peter party, and then MJ and Harry are celebrating with him. This is 2 years after the events of Spider-Man 1. I thought MJ and Harry broke up, why the hell y'all still so close? We then again see these two in the back in their crusty ass backyards. Man, if that's what properties look like in New York, please Lord, never make me live there. They have a conversation and MJ starts layering on the flirtatious advances, and then Peter is just shutting her down. I don't know how you can fumble this hard. She starts touching his face and shit, trying so hard to get him to fold, but nah, he's Spider-Man. And then she says,
I'm seeing somebody now.
okay, wait, pause. So you're seeing someone else and you're touching up on Peter? Nefarious behavior. Please, woman, cease with this chicanery. They conclude the conversation talking about a play. Peter says he's gonna be there. All right, bet. So Peter pulls into the play, and you know, he's a tad late because, you know, he's kind of a superhero, and they don't let him in. All right, you know, fine, whatever. I'll just wait for her outside. She's gonna come out soon. Okay, cool, there she goes. I'm gonna go say what's up. Wait a minute, who the fuck is that bitch? We get played thinking that she was waiting for Peter, but nah, she was waiting for her new man, because you already know MJ's not getting locked down until she samples all of New York's finest meats. So we get introduced to her new man, and then when we skip over to the planetarium or whatever the fuck this establishment is, she catches Peter in the crowd, looks him dead in the eyes, and starts playing these mind games. Like, she knows what she's doing. And then afterwards, he goes up to her just to say hi, and she's like, oh, you, bitch? I got 2 words, Chris Brown, if you keep playing with me. So she's mad that he didn't show up to her play, but he literally explains himself as to why he couldn't get in, but nah, she don't give a fuck because the world revolves around her. It's appalling. When she has another play, he actually makes it to this one because he doesn't want to get in trouble again. But as always, she does not care, and she will remember the bad times only like a true toxic girlfriend. They're having a conversation outside, and then she's on her flirt game once again, and then goes, I'm married, girl. Why are you talking to me like you're single? And then she has the audacity to say,
I don't think it's that simple.
Of course course you don't, because you complicate things.
Me? I complicate things? Girl, I know she isn't talking looking like this. This is the queen of mixed signals. So MJ starts going through a crisis or something, and then she decides to kiss her fiance to see if it was Spider-Man or if it felt like Spider-Man. What, I don't understand these emotions, whatever. And then this guy, he's on the moon. He's happy as hell that he just kissed his wife, but she's not feeling it. This poor chump. So in response, she then invites Peter out for coffee after she previously rejected his invitations to hang out, with the intention to see if her kiss with Peter would mean something, which is actually bonkers. You are engaged. She pushed him away the first time because she's married, and then she invites him out to kiss him? What the fuck? This woman is a class S cheater. And then, of course, she gets kidnapped again. Girl, I need you to move to Connecticut or something, because this New York thing ain't working out. After Spider-Man's fight with Doc Ock, Peter's mask gets removed, and then Mary Jane sees that Peter's also Spider-Man, so now she definitely wants him. That's crazy. Peter goes to save her from the falling debris, and then she decides to not get up. You know, Peter's saying, yo, this is heavy, which is code for get the fuck out of the way, please. And then she goes, so you do love me. Girl, patience is running thin. I'm about to kick you into the ocean. Get out of the way. Hugs her fiance after telling Spider-Man how much she loves him, but the true viciousness comes out when she leaves her fiance on the wedding day. He has another woman deliver a note saying that she's not about to get married, which is an absolute fatality. She runs to Peter in her wedding dress, talking about, I want to be with you despite the risks. I cannot believe this. They treat me like a toaster. They're only around when the bread is up. Pete hears that duty calls and she's like, go get him, Tiger. Okay, so she's about to be the loving, supportive girlfriend here, right? Yeah, no, psych. In Spider-Man 3, this is honestly when both sides are on that bullshit, but this is about Mary Jane, so I'm about to roast her primarily. MJ's pursuing her dream to be an actress still, and she's on set. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I do appreciate the way like the stars and shit look. I'm not like a play guy, but I can appreciate it. After the play, she runs to Peter's apartment to vent about her review that she got. The critics basically said, girl, you suck and you need to go back to wiping down tables. Now Peter, as a good boyfriend generally would, tries to empathize with her and shows that he understands. Hey MJ, I get how you feel. Spider-Man gets criticized all the time. Don't listen to what the critics have to say. This isn't about you, it's about me. He was so obviously trying to show you that he understands by using a story that happened to him that's very similar to yours, but no, in MJ's world, if it's not all about her, it's a problem. Soon after, Peter has to go bounce to save somebody because, you know, he's a superhero, and she looks visibly annoyed by this. Nah, homegirl, relax. You said you were okay with this. Don't get mad now. And then when Spider-Man has his little celebration because, you know, he's a hero and has saved New York a billion times, she again does not look happy that anyone else besides herself could possibly get so much attention. Oh, and she kissed her ex here. Can't forget that part. Now, in MJ's defense, this next part is pretty whack. Peter kisses Gwen Stacy for the press, and MJ is not happy, which is fair, but she's done it so many times, so fuck her. Even though they've only been dating for like a year, Peter tries to propose to MJ at dinner, and she's pressed about the stage kiss, and she walks out. Damn, that's tough. But soon after, she calls up Harry, her ex, and is talking about, hey, I need some company. And we all know, if this movie was not family friendly, that would mean something way worse than just cooking fucking omelets. We see her at this motherfucker's house while she has a whole boyfriend. I can't believe it. You know what? Yeah, I can. This girl's a hoe. She then kisses Harry again, cheating again. I don't know how many times at this point she's cheated on her boyfriends. She's just lip fucking everybody at this point. She then storms out conflicted. Now, homegirl is navigating this turbulence of emotions and she decides to go back with Harry. She breaks up with Peter on a bridge.
It's not working. I'm lonely. You aren't there for me.
What? She explicitly acknowledged that she is okay with what comes with this relationship. Did you forget? I have evidence. And now she's sitting here talking about that she's too lonely? And not only that, she goes, there's someone else. Oh, y'all really about to call me Chris Brown because I'm about to drag this bitch from wall to wall. The rest of the movie is just like Bully Maguire fucking around with Eddie's girl and making Ursula bake him cookies and trolling MJ at her place of work, which is fucking hilarious, by the way. Venom takes over Eddie captures MJ again, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of all this conflict, Harry dies, which is the most unfortunate thing on the planet. She's holding Harry in her arms, and then after this is all done, she hugs Peter. I think she gets back with him. I'm so fucking done. MJ was the prime example of how a shitty woman can ruin a great thing and destroy the brotherhood. Harry would still be alive if it wasn't for this hoe. But whatever, the trilogy ends here, and we don't have to see this abomination of a woman ever again. If you enjoyed the video, check out the other commentaries I got and like my shit. All right, deuces.